Ethan is online. Dude, I always get him confused with Nick is not green. Wait, who is Ethan is online?
They're basically the same person. He makes all stoners look bad just by existing. This is like easily the most pea-brained, retarded man I've ever seen.
Oh, he's like white Nick is not green. Okay. What's the deal with him? I barely know anything about this guy. Is there like some lore?
EFAT made a live stream covering his modern art video, I believe. And like that video is just so bad. It is so fucking bad. He is so dumb that I don't think I could remember how dumb he is.
Yeah, like it was just so dumb and brain dead that all the bad points fell out of your brain. The thumbnail is like scribbles and he points at it and he's like, perfect. Does he actually think that piece is really good?
He really thinks that that's good art.
I'm super curious about the reasoning though. Well, I guess like the feeling behind it or something. Isn't art like subjective? How bad was his points to make it like so someone hates it because...
There is a subjective scaling to art, and then there's the objective work that gets put into the piece. You can call this bad art and still be correct, but you can't say that it's good art. You can say that you like the art, but saying that it's good is a stretch, in my opinion. Because all you do is fucking splatter shit on the painting. Literally anybody could do this. You could train a dog to do this. And no one would be able to tell the difference. Put it up in the museum, boom.
Like, I guess it invokes a certain feeling or something, but once you've seen one splatter painting, you've seen them all. You pretty much got that feeling from when you were in kindergarten in art class.
He'll have a painting on screen, and then he'll tell you the name of it, and you'll have no idea. You'll, like, have no inkling of what the name could possibly be. And then he'll say it, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Thank you for calling in. I'll definitely check out that modern art video. Watch this, it's about the Ethan guy. Chris sent me something. Chris the Narc.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Adam Driver, how about you bark the car?
Beef jerky.
Adam Driver, how about you leave the bar?
Is this music or noise? What? Dude, like, what I'm listening to, it's closer to noise than music. There's been music that I've listened to that I'm not a fan of, like certain pop songs from like back in the day or something like that. But like, I don't think I've ever listened to music that couldn't be qualified as music. Like, I just don't hear like any like rhythm or tune. It just seems like random noises. Like, there's like a tiny bit of cohesion, but not that much. Okay, let's keep like, does this turn into music or? Okay, so there's the lyrics. I'm a driver, I'm a pilot, I'm a driver, I'm a pilot. Wait, we need like subtitles on this. What are the lyrics? Okay. Okay. Like stimming. Is this supposed to be real music? Is this like on Spotify or something? Cause you know what this reminds me of? This is like a video project I would do in my video class in like 2011 in high school. Cause it's just like being goofy and silly, like they're zooming into the camera. It's literally like a high school project. And like the effects are like the default effects that they found on Premiere or something.
My wife divorced me for things that I said to her. My dog is hungry, I should have fed her. My new wife's a robot, I have it.
That kind of sounded like Dream. It sounded like a worse version of Dream singing.
Minecraft gold bars that I spit, protein shakes. They all taste like my shit. Yeah. Yeah.
They smoked a lot of weed before doing this.
Stop it with the bigotry. Tofu soup, venison marie.
They like sit inside all day, make commentary videos, get stoned, and then they only have like the social bravery to go outside and film when it's the middle of the night in a parking lot. But I know that because I am kind of low-key that person. Although I wouldn't like upload this to you. Maybe I'd film this on my phone and laugh at it. And then like pull it up like 6 months later with those same friends when we're high and put it on the TV and laugh. But I don't know if I'd upload this to YouTube publicly. Dude, I'm just like in awe. It's so horrible. Dude, how many viewers am I bleeding, dude? This is so weird. I just don't understand, man. Why did they edit this though? Like, it's one thing to like film this when you're high as fuck. It's another thing to like put it into Premiere and like scrub through it and like edit it for hours and upload it. I mean, if they had fun, okay, but is this music that I actually legitimately want to listen to? Wait, what are the comments though? Why does this have a lot of likes? The production on this is actually insane. Well, I guess it's like a joke, right? Is this like a skit for a video where like they were making fun, like maybe Nick is not green or what's the other guy? EthanIsOnline were like making fun of music videos in like a commentary video and then made like a joke parody one. The motif from 0 to 38 seconds is fantastic. It's criminal that it's so short. That was the worst part. It actually kind of got a little better as it went on because there was lyrics. They went on tour over this? Is this real? Wait, is this real? I'm just so...
Do you even know what day it is?
Queef Turkey's playing a live concert on July 27th.
So get tickets now. There's gonna be very limited seats. I'm serious.
There's gonna be snacks, there's gonna be parties, there's gonna be fun, there's gonna be laughs, there's gonna be snacks, there's gonna be food, there's gonna be parties.
Is there a better song? Is this like one joke song they made? Is there like a song that's worth listening to? Do they have like a really popular song? Okay, Pineapple Upside Down. This is their magnum opus, okay?
I need white noise to sleep. I need a sleep mask on me. I shoot my gun like pow pow pow. I shoot my shot like how are yow. Salmon's a superfood.
What the fuck?
Throw a stones.
So am I like delusional? Why do people like this? Why is this like well received? This goes hard on mute. True. Okay, let's find out why EthanIsOnline is like shitty or whatever.
I have a confession to make. I like the banana duct tape wall. I'll say it. That's pretty cool art. And then when that guy came up and ate the banana, that's even more art. I used to hate modern art. I used to think it was too simple, too easy. It's not like the Mona Lisa. That's art. I thought it was less valuable than something more realistic because it didn't take as much skill. I used to think that until I actually went to an art museum and I learned about the stuff I was looking at. I learned the contexts, the purpose, the skill behind making these pieces. And it started to make sense. And since then, I feel like I've only benefited from having more of an open-minded perspective about art.
Wow. I guess he was having a bad day that day.
Yeah, modern art can be weird and frustrating and confusing, but rather than embracing and trying to understand...
Well, I mean, it would really be hypocritical if he said modern art sucked, considering that he's part of like, what was it? Like, I already forgot it, like Queef something? Queefland or whatever? What was that shitty music again? Queef Jerky? When this is like your art? Yeah, I mean...
It's summertime now, and the song of the summer is already here. It's Pineapple Upside Down by Queef Jerky.
Pineapple upside down, yeah. In the toilet, I make a brown, yeah. In the ocean, yeah. I drown, yeah. Make some motion.
He literally proved why he thinks. Why is this being promoted? I guess people like it. I don't know. I just don't understand. Most things I understand, like even like anime freaks, I understand why they like it, even though I'm not in the same camp. Here, it's like, okay. I just don't.
I'm in that. And if you want to hear the new
I
song,
would love
you're
to
gonna
know
need
why,
premium
though.
audio.
If there's any, like, Queef Jerky fans, I would love to just hear why you like the music. I'm not hating, I'm just saying, like, I want to understand, because I just don't.
Of course, there's a political component, right? All art is inherently political.
What? Wait, what? All art is political? Okay, I'm about to make some political art right now, guys. What is the politics of this art, dude, that I'm about to make right now? All right, what are the politics of this one? That's definitely some alt-right art right there.
Influences, messages, or implication. 101, guys, this is baby stuff. Art critique is really just opinion.
Wait, how is this baby stuff? Art 101? How is every art piece political? And art is such a broad term, too. I mean, I would consider a video game an art piece. What's the politics of Mario Wonder? Why is all art political? And if we're just narrowing it down to fine arts, like, I don't know, paintings or something like that, how are they all political? Wait, what's the politics of the, like, splatter? Wait, he needs to explain the politics of the splatter. I want to know if it's right wing or left wing. What's the politics of Queef Jerky? Well, obviously it's socialism. Come on.
but a lot of people let right-wing propaganda cloud their judgment of modern art, whether they realize it or not. All because it helps them
what? So if okay, I don't necessarily think like liking the splattered art is bad yet. I don't really have an opinion, but I feel like, I don't know, someone like, there's like the splatter art where it's like like a bunch of colors like and if you don't like this art right here, you're influenced by the right-wing political agenda, dude. You basically endorse Trump if you don't say this art is amazing. Guys, we need a poll right now. Let's see who's alt-right and who's not. Is this good art? Yes or no? If you say no, you're literally a Nazi, bro. This is the best art ever, man. Look at this. Dude, wow, dude, look at this art I'm making. Woo. It actually looks kind of nice, dude. This is kind of like badass. Wait, I should make a bunch of money off this, guys. And it has the context of me reacting to Nick is Not Green. There's like a little story behind it, too. It like represents my YouTube channel, my manicness on Mayo Monkey. Oh, this is so deep, man. This is like the deepest shit ever, dude. Wait, this art's amazing. LOL, and then there's a lol, which really gets me into the mindset of when I made this, dude. I think this is like the best piece of art ever, honestly.
Feel better.
But dude, why is he unironically talking about like alt-right? Like, I was joking when he said, oh, it's all political. I'm like, maybe he meant that like vaguely, like, oh, there's like a meaning behind it and every artist has a political opinion or something like that. But no, he's like, the right-wing people have made it so you don't like modern art. So if you think this art is stupid right here, you're just like a Nazi.
In not wanting to engage with it. In an ideal conservative world, art is interpreted for people through a YouTube video full of lying, misinformation, emotional manipulation, false comparisons, but this happens every day. PragerU has made at least a dozen videos fooling your old grandpa about modern art. All of them are completely nonsense and wrong, but why is it then I hear the same boring, shallow, fragile talking points from people who should be way more in touch with culture? Listen, yeah, I know his face is in the thumbnail, and yeah, this video is kind of about Charlie. But listen, it's not personal. I'm trying to compare content that realistically should have nothing in common. Fascist propaganda and gamer streamer should not be saying the same things.
What? So because someone who is highly political has an opinion on art, and like someone else who isn't political and is like a gamer has that same opinion, therefore they align with all of the political opinions of the other guy? How does that even work? He's talking about like nuance and being open. I don't have like any like strong feelings towards modern art one way or the other. I'm like, I don't know, like I can kind of see how some people like it just for like the abstractness and that's kind of like wacky and out there, and it's like I don't give a fuck, and it's like breaking the established norms of what was considered like art or whatever. I don't know. Like, I can get the philosophy behind it a little bit, even if I don't personally like the art piece, and have an open mind about it, and I am going to have an open mind while reacting to this video more, but, like, I don't know how he can be, like, so open to the concept of modern art, but then not have the nuance to know that, like, talking about having the same opinion as someone who's political, if that opinion isn't political, doesn't mean that they align with their politics. I don't know if he's like joking or being hyperbolic. I feel like he was making a serious point, but it felt like he might have been making a joke here.
Fascist propaganda and gamer streamer should not be saying the same things.
So is he gonna criticize Charlie if he says he likes like macaroni and cheese, and then like, I don't know, Alex Jones says his favorite food's macaroni and cheese? I feel like this has to be a joke.
Content is motivated and has an agenda. Charlie is just being a useful idiot for that agenda, with peace and love.
An agenda against modern art? It's just like an art piece, it's just opinion. What do you mean, an agenda against hating this? Why do we need to protect the... It's just an opinion. You could say if you like a thumbnail or you don't like a thumbnail, if you like a movie or you don't like a movie. I feel like for a movie, this argument would make even more sense because, like, a picture is just static. There's a limit to how much you can get out of it from the facts of it. Whereas a movie, it's, like, longer, people talk in it. So, like, let's say, I don't know, majority of right-wing people didn't like episode 8, and then someone who's liberal also didn't like episode 8, but it was like for different reasons or the same reason, but that reason wasn't political. Is that person now like a useful idiot because he's pushing the opinion that most conservatives have about a movie to his left-wing audience or like his politically neutral audience. This is worse than I could ever imagine. I did not think this video would be this bad when the guy suggested it to me.
Conservatives are so artistically and creatively bankrupt that their understanding of art hits a hard limit at, if it's not pretty, I don't want to see it. This old stuff, it's pretty and it took a long time, so that means it's better. They pretend like they don't think exactly like that, but they do.
Is that bad? Like, that's not what I necessarily think. But I mean, the value of art is like dependent on who consumes it. It's like subjective. So if someone has that opinion where it's like, I only want to look at art that looks good, and the rest of it is useless for me personally, that's fine. I guess maybe it's bad that they're, like, saying that that's the objective truth about art. Like, that is what everybody could think. But I think it's, like, pretty common knowledge that the value of art is in the eye of the beholder. Obviously, you can point to specific things within the art piece on what's, like, executed well or not, but at the end of the day, if, like, I don't know, you play a video game that's rated 4 out of 10 on Metacritic, and a person played it and they thought that it's, like, their favorite game ever, they just loved it, just because it got a low score, it doesn't invalidate their enjoyment of the game, and just because they enjoyed it doesn't mean the flaws don't exist there to justify that low score from the reviewer. I feel like that's common sense.
Charlie doesn't watch PragerU for his art analysis content. He probably didn't even get the talking points from them, but they're still saying the same thing. Charlie's just an average guy with an average brain in his head. Florida average, but average. But it's uncanny how similar normal average guy language can be to politically motivated propaganda. Content that we all know is dishonest. Listen, it's nothing personal, it's nothing against Charlie. I've met him before, he's very nice. I just don't know why he's like this.
Average brain in his head. What? Yeah, and he said he met the guy too and he was really nice, but he just thinks he's done. Like, this is very pretentious. And I feel like smart people aren't pretentious. I feel like the smartest people in the world are usually humble. There can be smart people who are like pretentious and egotistical and narcissistic. Well, I guess it's the difference between wisdom and intelligence, right? Because there's like emotional intelligence and like social intelligence versus raw talent, practical skills type stuff. But to be pretentious is very socially unintelligent, in my opinion.
But in order to manipulate the viewer more efficiently, they have to use blank straw men to apply all their talking points to. You're telling me you can't think of...
Maybe it's just his opinion. I don't know. Like, because what is the benefit of like grifting or like trying to like push a narrative about art? Like, what literally is the motive? Because like with movies and stuff where it's like, and we talked about this last stream and even in the last highlight video that I uploaded, where it's like all these like anti-woke crowd, like Yellow Flash, where it's like, whoa, they're gay, people are mad or whatever. The reason they make that video is because there's a lot of like homophobic people and stuff like that, or people who like, yeah, like homophobic, I guess, for lack of a better term. Not like, maybe not as extremely homophobic as some other people, maybe not like super blatantly, but like the LGBTQ stuff in general rubs them the wrong way and they're like, ugh, and they need like somebody else online to give them confirmation bias of like, oh yeah, I'm not crazy, that woke shit is annoying, you know, and I'm gonna like get behind that. But with like modern art and like paint splatters and stuff like that, like what is, I don't know, maybe there's an audience who sees modern art and gets like pissed and then like looks up a video confirming their opinions, but I don't know, I feel like someone who would make a video like that it's more for just sharing their opinion. Although I'm not really familiar with the PragerU channel. Is it like super political or something? PragerU. Because, I mean, he might have an agenda. Yeah, okay, I mean, this is very political, so maybe he does have an agenda.
Michelangelo carved his David out of a rock. The Los Angeles County Museum of Art just offers us a rock. A rock. All 340 tons of it. That's how far standards have fallen.
Again, more deceptive language, more lying by omission. We all know Michelangelo and his classic rock, but weird that he left the artist out of the second one, right? That's just the LA County Museum of Arts' rock. It's actually called Levitated Mass, if you even care. It's by Michael Heiser. I've seen it in person, and it's really cool. What Robert Florczak leaves out of this video is the actual experience of this sculpture. It's not just a rock that you look at like other sculptures. It's a sculpture that you walk under, standing directly beneath tens of thousands of pounds of rock, older than anything around it, suspended just enough by these small brackets. That is art. It's easy to dismiss.
Couldn't you just go into a cave? Wouldn't it be cooler if it was like carved as something, or like it was a boulder recreation? Like, the artist here is Jesus Christ, or whoever you believe created rock, or the earth itself, or whatever. He didn't design the rock. I guess he picked out the rock, but how long did it really take to pick out? Like, I guess the most he did was like get a truck and move it there. Like, what?
Most physical art, especially sculpture, was never meant to be looked at on a fucking screen. It's like watching the theater bootleg recording of half of a movie.
Well, okay, but also, I've walked under rocks before. This isn't like a super unique experience that, I guess maybe if you're really high, was he really high when he went under it? Was he on shrooms? Because like, is there just no has he never been anywhere with like mountains or forests or anything like that? I mean, I've walked under a rock before. It's a unique experience if you've never gone outside, literally.
Is levitating mass everyone's favorite sculpture? No, it's not even mine. But if someone told me their favorite statue was Michelangelo's David, then it probably means that they don't really know about any other ones. Levitating mass is built to stand exactly like that for thousands of years. That's longer than David's statue is going to be around. So if that's not cool to you, let's see who has more statues in 3,000 years.
Whatever.
We'll all be dead, bro. I mean, there's been rocks that have been around for thousands of years. Just go out like, wait, does he think this is the only rock that's gonna stand the test of time? I'm pretty sure rocks that exist today, outside, like big stationary rocks that are unlikely to move, are gonna be there a couple thousand years from now. What?
The new modernists sowed the seeds of aesthetic relativism. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder mentality.
Ah, yes, the art expert here to tell us that art can be scientifically measured and is objective. It just needs...
But that's kind of what you're doing. You're making an exposed video on his opinion of art when art opinions are subjective. So you're trying to bring it down to a science or whatever. I'm not even saying I agree with the PragerU video. I recognize that it's his opinion, just like I recognize that this is your opinion. And PragerU's dumb for saying that, like, this is the correct and only opinion, if he does say that, which I'm sure he does. But you're also equally as dumb for saying that, like, he's objectively wrong when it's an opinion on art.
What he's telling us is that art for him is basically another way to look at pretty pictures of people in mountains, which is great. Look at all the pretty people in mountains you want. But to imply that modern art is inferior because it doesn't meet the extremely restrictive guidelines that Robert specifically and arbitrarily has, I mean, that's pretentious. So because this...
That's pretentious, but you just said that because Critical didn't like modern art, that he has a Florida average brain. The way PragerU is interpreting art is that he doesn't care like who the artist is, he just wants the piece to look good. Whereas EthanIsOnline is saying, for me, the artist and the story behind the art is more or just as important as the piece itself. And I think those are both valid opinions, but I don't just because like you're the type of person to only care about the art itself and not the people who made it doesn't mean that your opinion's wrong. And also, like, I feel like that's most people. I feel like that's most people too. Legitimately, I don't think that most people care about who made the art. They just care about how good it is. And there's a lot of people who care about the artist. A lot, obviously. But I would say it's like 20% care, 80% don't. Which is still a big percentage. But, you know, this video is baffling to me.
So because
I'm not like intensely angry at it, I'm just like confused and kind of bewildered, you know?
Here's a test I give my graduate students, all talented and well-educated. Please analyze this Jackson Pollock painting and explain why it is good.
Explain why this Pollock painting is good?
So does he answer PragerU's question? Like if he's trying to prove why, you know, what the title says, he's wrong about modern art, explain why? So let's see. Let's see.
Grad school and Robert Florczak brought out this fucking shit-stained toilet paper or whatever this is and told me to tell him why it's good. Dude, just ask for a college refund at that point. A college refund? They do that.
It is only after they give very...
Wait, is he saying, well, obviously this isn't art because it's a piece of shit, but the other things look just as shitty? Like what?
Very eloquent answers.
In my opinion.
But I inform them that the painting is actually a close-up of my studio apron. I don't blame them. I would probably have done the same, since it's nearly impossible to differentiate between the two.
No, yeah, it is possible to differentiate between the two. You just have to use your eyes. Robert Florczak wants to flatter himself.
I guess? Like with this one, like you can see the curves or whatever. I mean, it's just the same, but just with more density here. Is there like shapes in here or something like that? Were these shapes like deliberate or something? This kind of looks like a woman, kind of. I mean, this one though, I don't know. Well, this one is like a picture, right? I'm just saying like it's an actual picture. Like, cause the example he was giving is that it was random paint blotches on an apron. And then Ethan saying, well, there's a clear difference between random paint blotches and this. And with the picture on the right, I agree. The picture on the left, not as much.
Take figure skating in the Olympics, where artistic excellence is judged by experts in the field. Surely we would flinch at the contestant who indiscriminately threw himself across the ice and demanded that his routine be accepted as being as worthy of value as that of the most disciplined skater.
Figure skating is a complete non sequitur, and funny that he even tried. If we have to use examples that aren't real to prove points about real stuff, maybe we should reevaluate a little. If you're wondering, Robert Florczak does not bring up a single actual example of modern art for the rest of the video, just a bunch of poop-related stuff that he made up. Robert does have a solution for you, though, if you're really frustrated about this.
I mean, that is definitely criticism against him. Like, I don't think PragerU's video is like that good. Like, he probably could give better examples or something like that. Yeah, I honestly like photography way more than fine art. I just think the world is just more beautiful than whatever you can really paint with a paintbrush. And whenever you paint with a paintbrush, the most beautiful paintings mimic real life anyway. I like photography way better.
This isn't a blank canvas, as many conservatives will lead you to believe. This is actually a canvas painted perfectly white. 3 of them. Painted so meticulously that you can't even see the brushstrokes, which on its own is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. This guy painted so well that you can't even see the paint stroke. That'd be cool to see in real life.
Art, by definition, is a visual medium. Therefore, its meaning and ability to make you think are secondary to how it looks.
That's really stupid, because...
Yeah, I disagree with that. Like, this video could have been good. Like, I don't think that this video's bad because he's, like, defending modern art. I just think, like, the points he was making earlier are just so dumb.
All right, no more Robert. Charlie time. For those of you who don't know who this is...
Okay, here we go. Here's the part that I wanted to watch.
In the first video, Art Makes No Sense, Charlie is watching a video by Solar Sands about Thomas Kincaid. During the entire lead up to the intro, he won't stop assuming it's either Jackson Pollock or Damien Hirst.
These paintings make my corneas hurt. I'm ashamed that this
Damien
artist
Hirst.
lived in my former hometown. The George
This is
W.
Damien Hirst.
Bush of art. Gee, these paintings must be pretty bad.
It's Damien Hirst,
What are
isn't
they,
it?
Pictures of babies eating each other alive?
Charlie's already mad about modern art.
What? Mad? He's just making joke. He was clearly smiling. You even zoomed into him smiling. I don't know. I do that with videos too. Like, just like predicting something like, oh, it's gonna be this. Oh, it's gonna be that.
Art in this video isn't even about modern art. It's about tacky, wacky jigsaw puzzle art made by an evangelical alcoholic con man.
These are the kinds of paintings those quotes are referring to.
Artists
by the
suck.
late artist Thomas Kincaid.
God damn it.
He's so mad about paintings that aren't even in the video, he's getting distracted.
I hate Thomas Kincaid with every fiber of my being. Our long
Channel that
national
energy to someone that
nightmare is
deserves
over.
it,
There's
like
nothing
Damien
wrong
Hirst.
with
I don't know why more people don't hate people like Damien Hirst and Jackson Pollock. Their work is the most awful dog shit ever.
And when someone points out in the chat that all art is subjective, he says this.
It is estimated.
I guess he is mad at them, but I don't know. That's his opinion. He can say that it's dog shit. And maybe he's like a little jealous or mad that they're getting a lot of notoriety and publicity and money from doing little work. Although I think that's kind of hypocritical as a streamer. I mean, still, it's his right. He can be mad. I don't know. He can be like, I don't know if it comes from jealousy. It probably doesn't. He probably just thinks the art doesn't look good. And he's like, this is ridiculous. Why do people look at this? That's like, I watch some YouTube videos and I'm like, why do people, like queef jerky, dude. Why do people like this? I have no fucking clue. I'm not jealous. You know, I just have no clue. I definitely think I could make music that's better than this. And I think if I were to try and learn how to make music, I could make pretty good music, but I just don't want to learn how. Maybe one day, but I just like songs in general that kind of have a couple notes of build up and then that like drop, like do 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 do. Like that is like one of my favorite things in music. Just like that little repetition of da 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 do do da 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 do do da 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 do do, like a main like little thing and like a little thing to cap it off, like do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ethan is online. Sucks cock. That song's already better than Queef Jerky, dude. He doesn't know anything about modern art. He hates... I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna break out into song.
Art is always subjective. Yeah, until it comes to Damien Hirst or Jackson Pollock, then it is objectively dog shit.
Which, I'm not the biggest Hirsch head in the world.
He's making a joke. He's obviously making a joke. It is objective, except for this dog shit. I say this about so many people I critique. I've said this about Duff Noodles. I've said this about Nerd City. I've said this about a couple people. And when I say it, I genuinely believe it. Because I don't say it to everybody like, you know, I don't understand or whatever. But legitimately, I think EthanIsOnline is autistic. I think if he were to get diagnosed, he would be diagnosed with autism. Because the way he is reacting to Charlie's comments is very socially unaware and very autistic, which I prefer. I am autistic. I like the autistic approach to social situations where we just like take things at face value and we're just like, fuck the you know, intention or social meaning behind it. Let's just be like blunt and fuck the social rules, dude. I love that shit, right? So I'm not shitting on him, but I think that he is being extremely autistic here. I'm not going to say he has autism definitively, but I will say that as an autism expert, this critique he's giving of Charlie is autistic. And I mean that in the literal sense, not in the, oh, it's bad, like, oh, that's gay, you know, like how people say gay to mean bad, including myself sometimes, obviously. No, it's autistic.
God, these people are so fucking pretentious, it hurts.
He doesn't really elaborate, but I'm going to assume that he's saying that it's pretentious to seek meaning in art that looks passable enough.
Man's looking for a fucking intricate view of the world to challenge his thought process with a fucking jigsaw puzzle.
Like, it doesn't need to mean anything, so why are you mad that it doesn't? Especially when modern...
He's just making jokes. What? It's just his opinion and he's making jokes out of it. I don't think he's, like, legitimately mad. Most people who critique modern art don't care enough about art to be that mad about it. They're just like lolling at it because it looks so basic and bland. Like, lol, it's just a rock. I don't know. It's just like it's not that big of a deal. I feel like he's taking this way too seriously and way too personally.
And art is just baby doodles and crayons. Thomas Kincaid, Robert Florczak, it doesn't matter. Uninspired art is uninspired art. What is Thomas Kincaid?
I wonder if his comments agree with him. I would assume they do based on the likes. Yeah, and it's just people expressing their love for modern art. I think it's fine to like modern art. I don't think like you're stupid if you like modern art. But I don't think that people who think it's dumb are dumb for thinking it's dumb. It's all opinion. I think we should respect all opinions, not say like... I feel like having arguments and debates and conversation like this surrounding fine art pieces is just so pointless and random. Like, because the value you get out of it is so intangible because it's all about like the emotion and like your personal interpretation and the artist's personal interpretation and all that. It's all like very subjective and like kind of in flux and all like feeling based. Whereas with other pieces of media like movies or video games or whatever, you could be like, oh, that was programmed well, or that was shot well compositionally, or the writing there, the quality, like, so like I feel like it makes sense to have discussions on like what's the better video game or whatever. But what's the better art? I don't even know. And even then, like, why is it being presented in such, like, a toxic way, right? Like, when people, I don't know, talk about, like, movies or video games or whatever, they're like, oh, which is better, this game or that game? And usually they're just like, I like games, but I'm just gonna say which one I personally like better, or that's a shitty game, but it's all like in jest, and it's kind of like, you know, more jovial and fun and wholesome when they talk about it, like even a bad game. Most extreme example, like Angry Video Game Nerd, like he's doing a little skit on how bad a video game is, but I don't think he's legitimately mad that that game exists, you know? I guess if you get disappointed by a game and like a critically acclaimed franchise that's bad, there's that, but like, I don't know, I feel like getting mad at someone's video game opinion is also just as dumb, but it makes more sense than getting mad at people's opinion of fine art, because that is just like more subjective. If someone says, oh, I love this game, and then you're like, what? It's obviously dog shit because of this, this, and this, like obviously like it creates kind of like an interesting conversation and there's reason to like discuss it because there's tangible things that you can critique, but like paintings, it's just like you either like it or you don't. And then when you get into the details of it, it's more on emotion rather than objective skill involved in making it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Hopefully that made sense.
And yeah, if a child had the same mental illness and chronic addiction and somehow got a hold of one of the giant canvases he would nail on the ground, spent hours upon hours splattering paint to cover the entire thing, maybe Charlie's point about kids being able to do the same thing as Pollock would make a little more sense. Love him or hate him, he was...
I mean, you don't need to have those experiences to be able to create that painting. I mean, the feeling behind it and how other people interpret it, knowing the story and stuff like that, maybe changes a little bit, but like a kid could still just have their parents put down paper and go crazy.
He, Dennis, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, made a bunch of paintings, and he tried to get people to look at them on the street. Will is trying to trick people in public. But the first thing you will notice about all of these paintings is that they all look like ass. Oh, I can make that? Oh yeah, can you? This is what you made. Every time someone says modern art is like lazy and anyone can do it, I think back to these paintings.
That's a bad example. Like maybe kids couldn't have the patience to consistently use the same method. Like obviously the kids were just like doing stuff randomly and had no vision in mind. But I think like a kid that's like a bit older than 2 years old, like maybe like 10 years old or 7 years old or something, could definitely make a picture like that other guy. Just because a 2-year-old can't do it doesn't mean it's not easy for somebody else to do it. Obviously, I guess you have to have a certain mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna just put a bunch of paint down. I don't even know. It doesn't even take that much brain power. Like, basically anyone can get high or go on shrooms and just, like, be like, oh my god, my mind and my creativity's open or whatever. I have a sketchbook where sometimes when I'm, like, really high or really drunk or something, I draw patterns on it. So I'm gonna go get that right now, and you guys can tell me if I'm a secret amazing artist, okay? See? It's just, like... I mean, there's, like, some kind of consistency in it. I was just, like... putting random patterns and stuff like that. There's like a little squiggly time, like some of it connects. It's pretty wavy, but like, there's this one. So it's just like swiping across the page. Like anyone can do it. It's not that big of a deal.
If I made this video, and it was so objectively embarrassing that I already had to edit it down to like 3 minutes, and it was still this cringe, I would just not post it, Will. I just wouldn't post it. The comment...
Adam Driver, how about you park the car?
If I made this video, and it was so objectively embarrassing that I already had to edit it down to like 3 minutes, and it was still this cringe, I would just not post it, Will. I just wouldn't post it. The comments on this still, and it was so objectively embarrassing that I already had to edit it down to like 3 minutes, and it was still this cringe, I would just not post it, Will. I just wouldn't post it. The comments still this cringe, I would just not post it, Will. I just wouldn't post it. The comments in this video are really funny because they're so clearly biased against modern art that they're clinging on to anything they can to make their point. Does it make you feel any kind of way?
This video is literally 3 minutes. The best part about it is this video is literally 3 minutes.
We think it's stupid art for stupid people.
How can you, like, how do you read this and not just get insulted? Like, reading pretentious garbage like this is so upsetting to me.
The quote they used was stupid art for stupid people, which is definitely harsh, but I think Kincaid definitely deserves it. He made simplistic, digestible, accessible hotel art because he knew that hotels and grandmas had to put something on their wall. He churned out hundreds and hundreds of paintings and recreations just to make money. But isn't that what...
So, I mean, people like that art. The grandmas are people too. The hotel goers, or the people who own the hotels and want the paintings for their hotels, they're people too, and they like it, and there's a market for it. Why are you criticizing someone else's art? Wait, isn't that hypocritical? He literally, like, now he's gatekeeping art because people make a lot of similar paintings that a certain group of people like, and he makes profit off of it. It's now bad? That's gatekeeping. He's literally gatekeeping.
What people hate about modern artists? They just churn out whatever. They just throw it on the canvas and they sell it for all that money. What do you think this asshole was doing? They hate that Picasso can churn out 100 canvases a day. Abstract art is so much more challenging to conceptualize and actually execute. Unlike a tree that Thomas Kincaid painted that he meant to be printed 10,000 times.
Are you kidding me, dude? The amount of effort it takes to make abstract art is not comparable to like meticulously trying to like draw a tree. Like that's just coming up with an idea. If you sit around for a couple hours and think, especially think really deeply, or especially if you're on drugs, you could come up with that concept in an instant and execute it, depending on how complicated the art is, within whatever amount of time it takes to make it, you know? If it's paint splatters, you could probably do it in like You know, a couple hours, assuming you had the equipment to put everything on the floor and everything like that. Maybe a couple days to get that together. I don't know. Meanwhile, that tree is objectively going to take a lot of time, and you have to develop skill for it. Like, for an abstract art, you could, like someone could just... Like, the amount of time it takes to learn how to make modern art versus classical art, I guess, is night and day. You know? Like, objectively.
Kincaid's work, on the other hand, is meant to be purchased. A lot of times, actually. Which alone drains his work of a lot of soul and external meaning. Not that
I heavily disagree with that. I heavily disagree with that. What is that? Why is he saying this as if it's objective? Just because you make profit off something means it has no soul? So because, I don't know, the people at Illumination made the Super Mario movie and it was made more for money and stuff like that, it means that everybody, like, there's no soul in what the work that some of the employees did? Like, just because you're doing stuff to make a paycheck doesn't mean there's no soul in it. Just because he's making this money, he's making this YouTube video to upload to his channel to monetize and make money, because this guy is making money on his channel, and this is a video that he's just making within his, like, content schedule or whatever. If he wasn't a YouTuber, he probably wouldn't have made this video, right? Does that mean that this video now has zero soul? That doesn't make any sense. Just because something's for profit doesn't mean it's not soulless. And I'm not saying all art has soul. Like, there is some soulless art, like, I don't know, like using basic presets to just make, like, something simple, like a slideshow on how to cook fries at McDonald's or some shit for the employees to watch. Like an employee training video. Like, that will have no soul. It's an employee training video. Maybe if there's some jokes in it, it has a little bit of soul. So if you make profit off of something and something's made initially with the intention of making profit, it means it has no soul in it? That doesn't make any sense.
Not that Santa's Night Before Christmas is all that engaging of a painting anyway. Charlie stops watching this video to start...
How's on... what? See, like, and then he gives us he's being, like, smug about it. Wait, that's the same thing Charlie was doing. He's like... that guy's art or whatever, like the guy who makes the splatter art, it's not good. And he's saying, like, oh, it's not like that fucking Christmas painting has that much fucking soul in it. It's the same type of joke and humor. You're literally being hypocritical. What is this?
I think it's good to show kids stuff like this. I mean, yeah, looking at, like, a picture of...
Okay, yeah, he wasn't, like, arguing that it was bad to show kids this. He was just saying he thinks the painting shit. What?
70% of this 3-panel painting, maybe not my favorite, but also...
Wait, 70%? So, okay, so, like, he's criticizing Charlie for not showing the... It's not like showing the whole thing really changes it that much. It's just more of it.
Of 70% of this 3-panel painting.
Is the other 30%, like, really different? Like...
But instead of actually engaging with it or talking about what he does or doesn't like about it, he just dances around it and uses it as an example to say that all modern art is...
Yeah, but you don't say what you like about the modern art. Or, like, you could say that about his critiques, but you're not elaborating on why you like this particular type of art. And also, you said that, like, the Christmas painting was shit, and you didn't explain why.
You gotta really stop and digest this one, actually. There's a lot going on here.
It's just a little reductive, I think.
Yeah, this pretty much sums up...
Who cares? It's just a stream. What? Like, and he really cares about, like, the narrative of modern art, too. He's like, oh my god, Charlie is playing into the right-wingers' talking points about art. Who cares, dude? No one, like, is gonna be tricked or manipulated by art commentary. And if they are, who gives a fuck? Does it really hurt people if people are manipulated into not liking certain pieces of art? It's dangerous for these right-wingers to manipulate people into thinking that, like, trans people are horrible under false pretenses or false facts or whatever, like not giving them the full facts of stuff, or like racism or whatever they preach, you know? If there's like a hating on modern art pipeline, does that matter? Who cares? Like, if people who otherwise would have appreciated modern art watches Charlie's video before going to an art museum and won't go to the art museum because of Charlie's video, because Charlie manipulated him into poisoning the well on modern art, does it really matter?
Here's some canvases that there's like some scribbles on it somewhere in there. I don't know, just hang it up, put like 50 grand on it. Someone's gonna buy it.
And we'll talk more about how modern art critics are constantly complaining about how much art costs when it's literally just a money laundering tool by the 1%. And it has nothing to do with...
yeah, they're just making jokes. Who cares if he's... Because some people actually will buy that for like whatever amount of money for money laundering or whatever. Even if it's the 1%, he's just making a joke. If I make like a pedo priest joke, like saying like, oh, he's a Catholic priest, maybe he likes kids, is that me saying that all priests are pedophiles? No. And that's an even more extreme example than fucking modern art. Like, what? But, like, it's just me being hyperbolic, making a joke. Like, I'm sure Charlie isn't thinking that all modern art sells for $50K.
With the actual art itself. But where did 50 grand come from? He just made that up. There is no record that this piece has ever been sold or ever had...
He did just make it up, because it's a stream clip where he's just laughing at modern art because he thinks it's stupid. It wasn't... wait, what? Well, technically this one was never sold, so, like, what? Of course he didn't look up and do deep dive research on these paintings before laughing at them on his stream, because he's just streaming and reacting to stuff.
Any offers on it? For all I know, every piece Charlie looked at didn't make any money. I mean, the next exhibit is just a bunch of boxes in a synagogue. Like, that is explicitly something to experience, not something to own. And I think that's an even better version of art. The only thing, though, is Charlie never actually looked at what it was. He just saw a picture of boxes and didn't investigate any further. He's just looking at a picture of it. I don't think he knows what the whole thing is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Charlie can imagine what it would be like to walk around a bunch of boxes. I don't think that's like a really hard experience to visualize. I don't know, is there like some secret magic aura coming from the boxes where it's like, whoa. Maybe you'd appreciate it in a bit of a different light, but I don't know if it would like completely redeem it or the redeem or change or completely transform your perspective on the concept of just having boxes in a room.
And so he starts joking about what the piece could possibly be about, what crazy means.
He's taking he's literally saying, he's taking these fucking cardboard boxes out of context, dude. Charlie's making fun of these cardboard boxes, but he's taking it out of context, dude.
That is going to be attributed
add context. Cut out of context.
Like, you have to ask yourself, what's in those boxes? Are we purchasing too much? It's a display of excess. And you see how the boxes aren't all lined up the same? There's a pattern to it. There's order in the chaos. And then you also have to wonder who packed these boxes. Is it Amazon workers that are miserable and you can feel the hate? Is it someone like maybe...
See, he's just making jokes. Like, this is kind of funny.
Like, with a family that packed the... There's just so many things you have to ask yourself. This really is a challenging piece.
And then he doesn't look up what it actually means. And he also doesn't understand even what he's...
Okay, because he's just making a joke. Dude, why are you being so autistic about this? This guy's straight up being autistic, man. Just straight up autism.
Looking at, so none of the jokes really land.
In an annoying way, though. Like, I don't know, like, when I get, like, too particular about something, I at least have the self-awareness to be like, okay, maybe I need to reel it back, or I'm doing it for, like, a joke or something. But this guy's, like, actually just, like, autistically critiquing something, and it's not funny or entertaining. It just feels like joke police. Like, I don't get what's going on. Like, he's criticizing Critical for not getting the meaning behind these boxes, but he doesn't get the meaning behind Charlie's reaction to them. And his reaction, it's a form of art. He's putting it out there. This stream is art. This video Ethan put out is art. So maybe you should fucking get a different perspective on this art of Charlie that you're consuming right now.
Because Charlie isn't talking about what's in front of him. He's talking about what he thinks is in front of him. Charlie, you're making a fool out of yourself. There's so many more boxes than that. I think there are so many different ways to interpret this installation, and I think writing it off is a little aggressive.
Okay, can you please... Okay, he's just saying, like, this art is good. This art isn't bad and they're wrong and this art is good. But please, please, for the love of God, explain why. Because I'm, like, so curious. You're, like, blue-balling me. I'm, like, at the edge of my seat. I'm, like, you keep explaining that the other people's interpretation is wrong and then that you have a different interpretation. Explain your interpretation, please. Like, please. Not because, like, I don't believe you, but because I'm actually genuinely curious about his mindset. Like, I want to learn. Like, as someone who is pretty neutral on the whole art stuff, right? I want to be convinced why they are wrong about modern art, but I'm not really convinced because he's not giving me any counterpoints of why it's good. He's just saying why the critique is bad in a very vague way.
I mean, the fact that the boxes are filling a synagogue is significant. Charlie didn't even know that, even though it was written there. But Charlie was still so mad.
Okay, is that the only reason you like it? That it fills a synagogue? I guess that's one point. Maybe you could elaborate, do like a little review on it. Like, I feel like this video would be better if he explained why they are good instead of just explaining why he doesn't like the criticism. Like, just explain why the thing is good. And then we'll disagree with Critical's criticism because you showed us why we can disagree with it. You're literally like telling us to disagree with Charlie without giving us the tools and the reason why. Like, this video is just so surface level. It's so ironic too. It's so ironic because he's talking about like the depth and stuff and how you know, people aren't like Charlie are interpreting this art on surface level, but he's examining their criticism on such surface level. This whole video is so surface level. And it has like this negative focus where it's like, instead of counteracting Charlie's negative comments by uplifting the art, he's just shitting more on Charlie. And I feel like it would be so much more productive and this video would be so much better if instead of just saying Charlie's wrong, Charlie's mad, like how many times has he said in this video, Charlie's mad, and just imprinting his own interpretation of what Charlie's trying to do or what Charlie's deep thoughts about this are onto him. Like, instead of saying Charlie's mad, this is why Charlie's mad, blah, 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 say why the art is good.
Plenty of classical art still needs an explanation to make sense. It's called context. You can appreciate the aesthetics of art without context, but you're not going to understand the people.
Dude, I was joking about the out of context thing. He's taking this art, he's taking these boxes out of context, but he's unironically saying it. That's the same thing about the... Dude...
Charlie is just a little too excited about hating on this one, and
yeah, because he's having fun hating on it. Like, what's bad about that? Like, you can like it, but like he's just having fun hating on it. Why are you taking that fun away from him? He's not hurting anybody by hating on on art that's meant to be subjective. Some people hate it, some people don't. He's getting some enjoyment out of it. I'm sure the artist wouldn't mind that he's getting enjoyment out of how shit it is. In his opinion, like, this guy's completely missing the point, dude. The whole point of modern art and this type of art is to express emotion. And even if it's like a negative emotion, like this is shit, that's still something they're getting out of the art, you know? I don't know how many people watched the Charlie video, but like 1 million+ people probably enjoyed the art through Charlie's shitting on it. Is that not valid as well?
Misses the point of it completely, which is a bummer because this installation is actually...
You missed the point. Isn't the point of art to be subjective? So if someone else has a different point of view on it, that doesn't mean that you're like, you're interpreting this art wrong. That's literally what Ethan's doing right here. And that's what the PragerU guy was doing earlier, that he was criticizing. He's like, this is how you interpret, you're interpreting the art wrong. You're doing the art wrong. No, you can't interpret art wrong. The whole point of it is to have your own interpretation of it. That's the whole...
Actually really cool.
It's beautiful. I'm starting to tear. Oh. Wow.
It's literally headphones.
This is incredible.
It's someone else's headphones and design hung on a wall. That's theft. That's like the reaction content of art right here. This art piece is the equivalent of like XQC reacting to something and saying nothing, you know? Someone else designed and made these headphones. You just placed it on the wall. That's actually stealing. That's kind of fucked. Don't you think? Like, if this guy got money for placing headphones on a wall and he's not giving the royalties to the person who designed the headphones, that's kind of stealing. Like, if I take this whole EthanIsOnline video and sell it at an art museum and put it on a wall on a monitor that I bought and I sold it for like a bunch of money, do you think EthanIsOnline would appreciate the art, or do you think he'd get mad that I fucking stole his shit?
And then he makes fun of this big room installation, which, yeah, not my favorite. The video has fucking 400 views. What do you expect? This isn't Da Vinci over here. This artist...
What? So who cares about the view count? Wait, what? Dude, the way this guy is like talking about modern art in like a commentary drama lens.
I want to make it clear that this isn't Charlie's fault at all, but holy shit. If you go to the comments of this video It's like nauseating. Yes, I intend to simply spit on a canvas and sell it. Truly what a wonder modern art is. Again,
what? Dude, he's just getting triggered at jokes. He's just sensitive at this point. Isn't comedy art? Wait, is comedy art? Comedy is one of the most undervalued art forms there is. Dude, the comments are art, and you're shitting on it.
You didn't pay attention. That's so embarrassing for you. Again, it's not Charlie's fault. He has a really big audience and they're very unfunny. So Charlie moves on, looking for a video defending Jackson Pollock, and then gets mad at the title of the video.
Oh, I already hate the way this... I already fucking hate the title. How to Understand a Jackson Pollock Painting.
It's a funny title, though. I mean...
You're too fucking stupid to get it.
But you don't understand it, though. Is that not your problem? You don't.
So, but he's just joking about he's taking it so seriously, dude. He's taking it so seriously. This is too autistic, man. I need to, like, start, like, a social media autism class. How to channel your autism in a way that's appreciated and good, I guess. I don't know, that seems really gatekeepy, but, like, I need, like, a little class. Flamenco can attend, Michael Alberto can attend, EthanIsOnline can attend, Nerd City can attend, Deaf Noodles can attend. They're all gonna be on front row seats. I'm gonna be like, alright, here's how to be autism in a funny way, dude. Mayo Monkey channel, good example. Nick is not green, bitching about fucking taking everything seriously, bad. Joke, good. Alright? That's my class. Put it on the Truly Autistic channel, yeah. I'll make a video, like, directed to them. You remember when, this is a really far deep cut, but, like, when Rewired Soul got canceled in 2019, he made, like, a response video, but to, like, every community, like, my response to the fans, my response to the creator community, my response to the mental health community, like, and it was basically the same thing, but it was, like, to each individual community. I'm gonna make, like, on Truly Autistic, like, a lesson for flamenco, a lesson for EthanIsOnline, a lesson for Nerd City, dude. Yeah, dude. Bowblax Hustler University, yeah. Is EthanIsOnline trans, queer, bad, dude, what? Autistic. I guess there's no definitive answer.
And the sheer skill in handling paint that he has.
Oh, very skillful.
You read the paint.
Does he see how much...
Charlie should have responded to this video by making a painting like this.
Paint is on this. It's covered, and it's really big. Like, especially if it's on the ground, he had to walk around and on it. He could swing...
Okay, then he just bought a lot of paint?
His whole arm out and still be painting on his canvas. That's unlike any other artist. Listen, maybe it's just me, but knowing this, like, mentally ill, manic, alcoholic freak was sitting in, like, a barn, drunk, flinging paint everywhere in anger, gives a certain emotion to these paintings that I think is very valuable.
Not really. Not in my opinion. I disagree. Anyone could get mad and drunk. Everybody, like, what? It's not unique.
I'll say it. This is the part that is like the anger and hatred that lives only in this man.
Oh my god. The painting really tells you everything you need to know about the man behind it.
With my drawings, right? I think I drew one when I was upset and one when I was happy. I think I was just mad or stressed or something and I was just scribbling. But does that mean, like, it's more valuable or whatever? Like, wait, let me show it again. I was pissed and maybe a little sad, so I was, like, a little mad with the, like, the swirls or the mad, and then, like, the fucking, like, stroke here is like, oh, I'm just kind of giving up. I'm just gonna keep going and going and going and going. Like, going through the motion. This is me going through the motions, going. This is me being mad, scribbling, and then this is, like, me just being like, I'm just like, I don't know, like making a little swirl. Is it now deeper now that you know, like, what I was thinking when I was drawing them? Maybe I should become an artist, dude. maybe I should fucking sell this shit, man. I don't know. Secret talent.
I never stopped to really think about the gestures required for such precision. Like, it looks chaotic to the untrained layman's eye. The Philistines, but when you really
He's just joking.
take a step back, you can see the laborious
and these jokes
nature
are art.
of each and every splatter.
Okay, so now Charlie is like completely misunderstanding the narrative of the video, and
He's making a joke! Misunderstanding the narrative. You're acting like this is like a fucking allegation that you have to like seriously dissect. Maybe the reason Nick is not green fucked up the super mega allegations is because he was thinking about it as an art piece instead of a critique of someone who allegedly did horrible things in his opinion, and he's trying to prove why. Maybe it was too abstract.
It's who he is as a person that's creating that canvas, that painting.
As opposed to someone who paints using their body as well, but actually paints something. It is still them as a person creating that art. They make this weird distinction.
That's a good point. I agree with Charlie there. Like, Ethan wouldn't agree because he believes in soulless art. He thinks if you make money off your art, it's soulless automatically for some reason. Really gatekeeping art there.
They look for any and all fucking absolutely asinine explanations for why anyone should care.
even though Charlie's really mad at it,
I guess it is anger and frustration, kind of, but it's more like comedic anger to me, you know? Like, I don't think, like, Charlie's like, like, off camera, like, fuck that fucking dumbass fucking artist, man. He really fucking grinds my gears, dude. Like, I really think, like, it feels like Ethan is, like, gaslighting the fuck and poisoning the well to the Charlie clips.
Multiple.
Every time he thinks Charlie's mad, take a shot. I know, right? This video could have just been 2 seconds, like Charlie's mad, lol.
There's no reward in it for me. I don't get anything for it.
I don't know why he says that there's no reward for finding meaning in art. The meaning is the reward. It can change your perspective, make you feel seen, help you understand other people. You just have to be open to it.
Okay, maybe I'm being, like, pretentious or, like, doing the same thing that Ethan was with, like, average brain. Ooh, Ethan has an average brain or whatever. But, like, those 3 things: change your perspective, make you feel seen, and help you see other people. I mean, I think art's cool, but I've never been so, like, moved by an art piece to the extreme where it, like, changes my perspective in a significant way, or, like, makes me understand people in psychology more. And I'm, like, really into psychology. Like, I was gonna go to school for psychology before I dropped out for YouTube. I didn't really get too far in it. And obviously you could tell I care about psychology based on the way I talk, specifically, like, around autism and stuff. I have the whole Truly Autistic channel and stuff like that. Like, I learn about people through going outside and talking with people and looking at what other people have to say and understanding perspectives. Like, I would probably learn a little bit more about people and perspective in general if, you know, Ethan here explained why he likes some of these pieces more in detail, so then I could learn something about the human psychological response to art from someone like Ethan in his position mentally and all that. And that's just how I learn about psychology. I just learn about people through people. I don't know how I would learn anything about people through art. Like, I guess I can understand people learning about other people through art if they already have a limited understanding of people in general, which I think is actually a lot of people. Like, a lot of people just don't care to, like, learn about the mind in general and just don't know much, and maybe you can learn something through artistic expression, but, like, anything you can learn from art is something you could learn from looking into psychology on a basic level. The stuff you learn is like, people can be mad, people can have complicated emotions, and people might be very solemn sometimes and depressed, and drugs make the feelings come out onto a canvas, okay? That's simple. That's like 101. I don't know if I'm being pretentious by saying that. If you learn something about people out of an art piece, I think that's fine. But for someone like EthanIsOnline, who's priding himself on his philosophy understanding and his psychological understanding and understanding people and saying how he understands this modern art so much better than Charlie or whatever. Can this train shut up? He says that, and then he says he learned something about people out of art. Like, I feel like you should already know that. Like, if you don't already know that and you suddenly had like a revelation about the human mind through looking at an art piece, when your whole YouTube career is based off kind of knowing how people think and reacting to it and commenting on it, I think you're kind of retarded. I think you're kind of stupid if that was what opened your mind to understanding human psychology, is like an art piece when your occupation is about understanding people. I think you're kind of retarded. I'm gonna be real. The train has emotions? Yeah, the train has so much emotions about this piece. The train is an EthanIsOnline fan, and he's so the emotion in the train, dude. What was that conductor feeling when he pulled that train fucking honking horn sound, you know? And will he make a painting about it later? And will EthanIsOnline appreciate it?
The only reward is to the artist that put no effort into it and sold it for a lot of money to people that have been brainwashed to make them believe that it's worth that price.
Does Charlie think that the people who are attending museums are buying the art? Again, we're at this weird part where we're mad.
The museum is buying the art, though, and then the artist gets a huge paycheck from it. What was that point? What? Because other people view it for free, that means that they aren't getting paid? No, they got paid by the person who bought it to show it to people for free. Or for money, like maybe you have to pay money to get into the art exhibit.
The only person who needs to worry about that is the bozo buying it. It just really isn't about the money.
Yeah, but the bozo buying it is pretty important to the artist, because that's how they make their money? The only person who should be concerned about buying it that much is the person who's buying it and the person who's selling it, which is what Charlie was talking about.
Classical art is where the money's at. The most expensive painting in the world sat on a Saudi yacht for 2 years.
This is such a non-point. Dude, he complained about the ice skating comparison that was made earlier, but this comparison is just as bad. It's just like, it's okay, so classical art also gets money laundered too, and gets sold for ridiculous amounts of money. Okay, how is that relevant to Charlie's point? Like, where's the connection?
Classical paintings go for way more money, are owned by way worse people if they're not already stolen from the country they belong to.
I don't think anyone's mad that Jackson Pollock trickled little dribblings of paint across a canvas, or someone submitted a canvas they bought from Michaels as art. They're mad about the price that it sells for and the people that defend it. It's never really the piece itself.
So I guess Charlie's biggest problems with modern art are the price it's sold for and the people who defend it, even though he said in the last video that no one defends modern art.
Like modern art is one of the most baffling...
It's called hyperbole? Holy shit, this guy's stupid. He is being so autistic. Well, technically, you said nobody defends modern art, but I do. What?
Outrageous things to me.
This is the most insane video I've ever seen.
I never see anyone defend it. I literally never see anybody online defend it that isn't also laundering money with art themselves. Like, it blows my fucking mind.
Well, he says people who don't defend it unless they're already laundering money, so he's criticizing the money launderers if he thinks the only people who criticize or defend it are money launderers, and then he says, I don't like the people who defend it. That means he's criticizing the money launderers. Oh, is there a bit of empty space in that head of yours? I bet you have a very creative and artistic brain under that skull. I would love to do a painting of it. I think I could finish it in 1 second. Let me do a artistic interpretation of Nick is Not Green's brain. This is his head. This is the inside of his skull where his brain's supposed to be. And this is the brain.
But I don't think he knows anyone in real life who likes modern art. I don't think he knows any gay people. If it's such a horrible problem that is so frustrating that you start the video mad about it, why are there no examples? I think Charlie...
You're over-exaggerating his frustration. How many times do I have to repeat my fucking point against him because he repeats the point? This video is so unnecessarily long. Why are you saying the same point a million times over?
And I think it's far more important to experience and think for yourself rather than letting narratives dictate what you think. I'm going to end this video by telling you about one of my favorite art pieces. It's just...
Narrative. Oh my god. We gotta fight against the narrative that modern art sucks. You can look at it and form your own opinion. And if you want to learn context about why it was made or how it was made, you can look it up. It's not like people are trying to intentionally hide it. They're just not mentioning it, I guess. Which maybe is a little distant. I don't know. It's not a big deal. Anyway, let's hear why he likes this. He's finally, after 41 minutes in this 43-minute video, going to explain why he likes an art piece in depth. Let's hear it.
At first glance, it's just a fan in a room, but the description reads, soon after the death of his lover, Stephen Arabino from AIDS, Los Angeles conceptual artist Boscovich discovered that Arabino's family had completely cleared out his apartment, including the artist's possessions, save for the electric box fan in this work. An entire person, existence, and relationship had been erased, like so many were during the AIDS crisis. Boscovich encased the fan in plexiglass as a kind of evidence and created cutouts to allow its circulated air to escape and be felt by the viewer, almost like an exhalation. In a sense, restoring Arabino's breath. At least as a facsimile in memoriam, Boscovich makes a tender, broken-hearted gesture towards some form of eternal life.
Okay, it's a good monument to a dead loved one. Okay, so that's why it's important to him. I don't know why it has to be important to us. People die all the time. I mean, it's sad, and it's cool that he memorialized them this way, but it's still a fan in a box, so. I don't know why that would be his favorite piece, though. Couldn't he, like, go a little bit more in-depth about, like, okay, that's the story behind it, so we have the story and the fan. Now explain why you like the story and the fan? He didn't give any... That's like me saying, look at how awesome The Legend of Zelda is, and then I just read the story synopsis and in a manual. Okay, but where's the critique? Where's the opinion? You just described it, okay? Why did you like it? And I'm sure this was an artistic choice to accidentally put a J in the middle of his sentence. Peace and love, okay, I just like art a lot. Oh, but it's spelled a little differently, so it's deep. This is one of the worst videos I've ever fucking seen. The fan is an example of a conflation of a memorial and an installation. Easy peasy. Yeah, see, you gave more of an opinion than Nick did. Or Ethan did. Okay, really deep. Hearing the fan sound is really deep. Dude, if this fan is the essence of that person, this fan sounds like shit. So that person must be annoying as fuck, bro. What?
Article titled
Bro, it's a
George
jigsaw
Bush
puzzle
a better
painting.
painter than Thomas Kincaid, which argues
Man's
that
looking for a
George
fucking
Bush's recent
intricate view of the world to
opinions are
challenge
more
his thought
interesting
process
than
with a
Kincaid's
fucking jigsaw
work
puzzle.
because they are more inventive.
Okay, was that ending part supposed to be like an own? Does he have good videos?
Hi, you may.
Maybe that was a fluke. I'm just curious if all his videos are bad or if that one was just a fluke. I mean, I could check it out, but right now I feel like I'm very drained on EthanIsOnline's art, especially after listening to this.
Sodas like Coke on the regular. My wife divorced me for things that I said to her. My dog is hungry, I should have fed it her.